Most people lose 1 to 3% of muscle every year after 30. Do nothing and you lose about half by your 80s. Retire and relax. For too many people, relax becomes decline. If you're waiting for more time, here's the truth. Your body clock is moving right now. The gym is where you can buy that time back. Those who think they have no time for exercise will sooner or later have to find time for illness. Edward Stanley. No, that's not new wisdom, right? It's just ignored wisdom. So what happens when we don't train, right? Well, we get this thing called sarcopenia, right? Faster aging, muscle loss, and it starts in midlife, right? Like 1% a year, and it can reach 50% by the 80s if you don't fight it. Less muscle, lower strength, slower metabolism, higher fall, fracture risk, and higher mortality. Also, cardio fitness slides, VO2 max slides, 10% per decade. What's up, Henry? Your engine shrinks with age unless you train. Lower fitness strongly tracks all-cause mortality. Staying active slows the drop. Sitting is its own risk factor, okay? So high sitting time, right, raises all-cause and cardiovascular mortality. Even after you accounted, for your workouts. Wow. So it's not good to sit all the time, right? So move more and train. And that's by PubMed and Science Direct. Metabolism and insulin resistance are a factor, right? Skeletal muscle clears most of the glucose after a meal. Less muscle equals worse blood sugar control. Resistance training improves insulin sensitivity in older adults and those with type 2 diabetes, also from PubMed and PMC. Our brain health is affected, of course, right, as we age. So physical activity is linked with better late life cognition and lower risk of cognitive decline. Aerobic exercise shows neuroprotective effects. And that comes from JAMA Network and PMC. So the baseline you should hit, right, or you must hit, right? Adults should get 150 to 300 minimum moderate cardio. That's, or 75 to 150 minimum vigorous cardio, right? Plus, 2 days a week of muscle strength training, right? And that's the floor, not the ceiling, okay? That's recommended by the WHO and the CDC. So that's at least 2+ days. So I would recommend 3 or 4 days, right? Each week, what to do, right? Well, that's what this channel's about. But just to let you know, your minimal effective dose would be 3 to 4 days in the gym, right? Oh, what's up, dude? 45 to 60 minutes. 2 full body strength sessions, machines or free weights, squats, hinge, push, pull, carry, 2 to 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, 2 cardio blocks, one steady 20 to 30 minute zone, 1 interval day, 6 to 10 reps at 1 minute hard, right? And 1 to 2 minutes easy. This is just what they recommend, right? The movement snacks, they call them, right? Which are like short walks, stair breaks, so you're gonna walk the stairs. 5 to 10 minutes of mobility, PubMed. You know what's funny? At the last school I worked at as a teacher last year, I had a lady that, and she, if you're watching this, hi, she's another teacher, right? Every break she had, she's walking that track. Like she goes to lunch, she just walks the track. She even takes little breaks in her prep period. She goes, walks the track. I'm like, wow. And guess what? She's this skinny, right? And she's healthy. So I was blown away. She taught me something. You can just keep walking, right? I guess throughout history, we've been walking. That's all we do is walk. How do we do anything without walking throughout history, right? You have to go get hunter and gatherers. Everything we have to do is we have to move, right? So it shows you when we slow down, Mother Nature takes over and says, "Now we don't need you anymore," right? So yeah, we got to keep going, you guys, right? Nutrition anchors, right? Supporting that actually will support your muscle and insulin sensitivity. So be careful with your food. You know, that's on this channel. You can get all this stuff. It's all there for free. You can just download it and just follow it. The food plans and the exercise programs. Protein, make sure you spread protein out throughout your meals all day because you're going to want to have protein, right? You need fiber and colorful plants for micronutrients and gut health. You know, smart carbs around your training. You know, just try to limit those ultra processed foods. Hydrate and sleep. It's great for your recovery. Here's another thing, right? We hear all the time, right? We tell ourselves, right? I'm busy, I'll start later. Later is how we lose a decade. You know, muscle and fitness are perishable. And, you know, you don't find the time after retirement. You make time now so that way you're strong enough, you know, to enjoy your retirement later and your grandkids or whatever, right? Or, you know, why'd you work your whole life just to retire and then not move and then not make it very long, right? No, you got to enjoy it. So here's your action plan, right? Just pick 3 to 4 days a week. You know, make sure you're doing 2 strength training days and 2 cardio days, right? You know, walk after your meals, right? Get a dog. I got a dog. I have to walk twice a day, miles every time, you know. Follow the free food plans below, okay? I'm going to attach them. You can just follow the, watch the playlist and then download the worksheets. You know, I built this channel so you don't have to guess, right? It's just, like I said, free food plans, free beginner to intermediate workouts, you know, and daily motivation to go with it. And it's all in the playlists. You just got to browse through my channel and learn about it, right? And get familiar with it and start watching some of those longevity videos.